My name is Adrian Garcia. I'm the Fire Chief of the Mission Fire Department and Deputy Emergency Management Coordinator for the City of Mission. And as you all know, we're coming into hurricane season, and today we're going to be talking about emergency kits and the importance of the emergency kits. So when we talk about emergency kits, we've got three categories that we want to focus on. First of all is what we call essential items that you want in your kit every single time. The second category, of course, is going to be useful things that are going to help us kind of get through the day and get through some situations out on the road. And finally, of course, we want to have personal items with us as well. So let's talk a little bit about our emergency kit. First of all, we want to have a good first aid kit. Now, this first aid kit is really important, and it's going to fit your family. Every family is different, so make sure you have the right equipment and the right medical supplies and medications in here for your family, so when you're out on the road and away from home, you have that ready to go. The other thing that's really important is also have a fire extinguisher with you. Again, when you're away from home, on the road, as you're moving around, things can happen, fires can start. And having just a small extinguisher like this handy, you can put fires out quickly, make things safe. Really important though, make sure you check your extinguisher before you go. Make sure it's fully charged, there's no rust, and it's not broken in any way. And if it is, go get another one. Another important item, of course, is water. As you all know, water is really important for the human body. And what is recommended is that every person have 1 gallon of water per day. So every person, as you go out the door, make sure you have 1 gallon of water per person per day. And again, really, really important. So make sure you have plenty of water in your kit. Next thing, of course, is food. Whatever food you pick, it's important that it's non-perishable. You don't want to bring anything that's going to spoil along the way, or you're going to have to continue to keep refrigerated. That becomes very difficult during disasters or emergencies, because a lot of times we're not going to have electricity or good water to drink. So make sure you bring non-perishable items or items with you. Finally, of course, you want a good flashlight. Again, one of the first things that usually goes during a disaster is electrical power, so we lose all of our lighting. So it's important that you have a good flashlight that you can use in the night if you need to get around, or if you have to go into areas that are not very well lit. It keeps you safe and keeps you from getting injured. So again, this is what we call essential. You want to have these in your kit every single time. The next category, of course, is what we call useful. Okay, it's really useful to have a disposable blanket. Once again, if you're going to be out on a road and maybe you don't get to your family member's house, or something happens where you get stuck on the side of the road, it's always nice to have an emergency blanket that you can cover up, stay out of the rain, stay out of the cold, that kind of thing. So make sure you carry some of that. Again, if you do get to a place where you do have electrical power, make sure you have plenty of your electrical charging kits and equipment. There's also certain things that are called charging blocks. If you can get a charging block, pre-charge that, and that way you can actually charge even without electricity. You can keep all your cell phones, pads, all those things fully charged, and that way you can stay up with any updated news or weather reports and those kinds of things. So make sure and keep that. Another piece of equipment, again, this is what we call an emergency radio, and these can actually be picked up at any hardware store such as Home Depot, Lowe's, Walmart, those kinds of things. And the beauty of this is it doesn't require batteries. It's actually a hand crank. You crank it up, charges it up, and then you can actually listen to the news. And again, does not require batteries. So during emergencies, this is a very useful piece of equipment that you can add to your kit. Now, it's really important also to understand that during an emergency, most electrical items are not going to be working. So what that means is most of your credit cards aren't going to be working as well. So it's important that you also get some cash to carry around with you. So that way, if you do need to make some purchases, you need to purchase food or more water or even some medication, you have cash that you can actually purchase things. And just remember that, again, these are, again, things that are useful. Last but not least, you want to have a nice little toolkit. Again, this toolkit is important because as you're out on the road, anything can happen. Vehicle failure, or you get somewhere where you're staying and maybe you need to use a wrench or something to open up gas or water, those kinds of things. So it's nice to have a toolkit that you can carry around and help you during emergencies. Finally, of course, is personal items. So when we talk about personal items, it's really important to understand that if you have any medication, okay, especially with hurricanes, you can see those coming. So it's important that you go to the pharmacy and try to get those refilled as quickly as possible, so that way you can have plenty of medication when you're out and about from your home. Other items, of course, reading glasses. Make sure you bring those with you. Even bring a couple of spares in case you lose them or break them. And finally, of course, you also want to take care of your personal documents, passports, driver's license, insurance documentation for your home, your vehicles, because remember, it's also really important to keep all these documents in a waterproof bag and keep those documents as safe as possible. Again, as you leave or evacuate the area, at some point we're going to move into recovery and you're going to have to return. And if your house is damaged or your vehicle's damaged or any property, it's good to know where those documents are and they're dry so you can move into recovery as quickly as possible and get back on your feet. Once again, it's important to have all these items and your family preparedness plan ready before an emergency. So remember, amigos, stay safe.